Hey there everyone, and welcome to yet another wonderful Planet Zoo video. In today's video I thought we need to talk about climbing. So the footage you will see in the background is me building a climbing frame for the Mandrill. So if you've catched up on the stuff yesterday, there was the reveal of the Mandrill animal, and people were asking a lot about the climbing. I think also there was a lot of complaints about the animations. And before we start doing this, let me just quickly get you into the environment, into the setting we are talking about right now. So this is an alpha build of the game, and there is a specific reason why a developer in general asks people to do stuff like that in a very early phase, and this is to find problems, because if developers test things, they usually do it with their idea of a game in mind already. So what they build is not necessarily what players would build, it's basically what they have in mind that can be built with the stuff they just programmed, you know what I mean? So this means they are not as much likely to find issues with the program than what would happen if they let random players, as we are, do this stuff. So when I was doing the recording together with Laura, if you don't know who Laura is, I highly recommend just to watch the full gameplay I did yesterday. I'll also put a link in the description or maybe popping up to the right hand side of your screen right now. She was also explaining a little bit that they are trying to figure out as much as possible in this recording session right now to give all the feedback back to the developers. So everything we did in there is being noted down. So she had like a block or like a piece of paper with her. She was taking loads of notes, and I can only confirm that this, like 80% of the climbing animation is already pretty damn great. We are humans and we tend to forget that it's not all about perfectioning from the very first second. It's about continuous improvement of simple things. I'm not saying the climbing mechanics are perfect, not at all. I'm not even saying they are great, but they have a great potential. So when I was looking at the footage from back then, also not only my footage, also the footage of the lead designer and Sean McBeard, who did provide me with their footage as well, I was actually seeing how they did it. So both of them used a bit more of the pre-made ones, of the blueprint versions, which was down to the fact that they had a little bit less time, just simply because of the time of day when we had the recordings. I was just in a very lucky spot. That's why I didn't need to rush that much, and why I was able to build kind of more of a simple climbing frame myself. However, we all encountered that loads of the animations are already super great. Like the fact that animals, for, as I said, like 80% of the animations are perfect. There's no glitch, there's no problem, there's like nothing wrong about this. But the 20% that don't work yet, this is what people see. This is what you guys see in this wonderful footage over here. This is what we obviously saw while doing this stuff, and this is what the devs also see. So they will spend a lot into fixing those 20%, and I'm quite sure they will be very keen to do it, because this is some stuff they are super proud of. Like the climbing mechanics are something that is completely new to a game in general, and what is unique also, you know, that animals have a complete unique and kind of limitless pathfinding option, just according to what you build by hand, and they kind of, you know, they react to it in live while doing so, and there is so much going into it, and I think this is what they need to optimize quite a lot. I do agree that if they would, you know, keep it the way it is, I would be pretty disappointed for sure, but you know, this is a test, and that's why you are likely to see the mistakes and the little glitches and errors. But as I said, we also have to look into at the bright side of things. I think if you would ask me if I would prefer having like predefined climbing, which looks like 100% super accurate, or like a completely free path finding, piece by piece interactable building set for climbing racks and animals interacting with every single scenery piece, and then having like a 5% chance of little glitches, I gladly take the glitches, to be honest, because over the course of time, those 5% will be vanishing and get less and less and less until we are at 99% chance of success, and this will be a great experience. And this is what I just wanted to talk about and to remind you guys of why this is kind of very important to think about stuff like that. But well, now let's talk about the actual climbing need in the game, because I feel like this is something that has to be covered as well. I think many people showed off the great climbing and talked about how great it is, and we had some developer journals on that. But one thing I was pretty excited about to see is how the game treats the need of climbing, and I think this is something people haven't been talking about too much yet. So there is a climbing need. Some animals do have a climbing need. Some other animals have like another need, for example water and swimming need, and some other animals have all of them. So the climbing need can be fulfilled via the climbing pieces you can see in this menu right here. So this is the enrichment menu. Actually, this is the habitat menu, but these are like enrichment items, and in the enrichment tab you also have the climbing enrichment. Now that doesn't mean that the animals are only able to climb with those pieces. That's not the case. These pieces are only the enrichment pieces, and here's the little very important difference. Not every piece does fulfill the need of climbing. However, they can climb the thing. You need to place down the climbing pieces to make sure that the overall demand to climb is fulfilled of the animal. So let's say there is, for example, a need of 20 square meters of climbable area. You can build whatever you want out of scenery. The only thing you have to make sure is that you hide these pieces in there, at least 20 square meters of climbable items. So what you could do, for example, you could go in and build a complete climbing rack out of, I don't know, chain link fences or whatever you want to do, like metal pipes or whatever. The only thing you need to make sure is that you put at least a few of those pieces in between, connect them with some wooden pillars or whatever to make sure that the climbing need is fulfilled. The thing is, the cool thing about this is animals will still climb and interact with all the other stuff. It was also not obvious if they would prefer these climbing things, but they are more likely to choose these climbable items to cross, for example, rivers and stuff like that. But as you can see with the Mandrill on the left hand side, he just came walking down the stairs, and these stairs, there was another one just bashing down there, as you might have seen, and I think he's also running up the next stairs. Yeah, there we go. These stairs are all done piece by piece. You know, it's this stair over here is not like a pre-made climbing thing, whatever. They just use some pieces that this Mandrill just decided to run over, and it just came running down from the other one. So it is really cool that we do have the option to choose between different pieces and stuff like that, just to make sure that there is a little bit of difference. And I'm more than happy to know that these climbable pieces are in the game to fulfill the enrichment need of them. As you can see, I fulfilled the climbing by a large amount. They are lacking a little bit out of water. I don't even know if I will give them the water, but I think I'm looking more into getting more Mandrills now that they finally start using it, because we wanted to check if they do use it or not. So this is why I was testing. So what am I doing over here is now, while I was talking to Laura, I was actually testing something to show her if this will be possible, and she basically just confirmed that this is easily possible. So as you can see, I was just hiding this wooden platform in this brick pillar just to make sure if this will work, and you will see in the end that there is like a Mandrill also using it. I did this because I had already in mind that people will do this anyways, and I wanted to see if they still consider this to be a climbable piece, or if this is just like a floating pillar they won't interact with. But effectively they do. So it was just a little test, and she confirmed that the animals do this, and I was happy, and so I was just hoping for more. But you can see there are a lot of great pieces. We have some kind of support pieces that nearly look like coaster supports, to be honest. I was just looking into them, and I opened the menu just to talk to Laura if it is possible. But there's like so cool, like look at this, for example. This could be also such a cool piece where they can climb with. So yeah, basically they use everything. And just to boil it down again, you still need to put down some of the climbing pieces, but in whatever form you want to. It doesn't need to look like a climbing frame or whatever. It can be whatever you want to have it look like. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. So it's actually, I think it's the perfect balance. It's a perfect balance between having like every possible climbing frames available. As you can see, they also built like a little bridge out of a trunk over there, which they can use as well. And the whole enclosure, or the exhibit and habitat, I still need to get used to it, contains a lot of climbable things. But yeah, I was getting a little bit mad that none of my Mandrills is about to use my stuff, and this is the reason why I was buying a few more Mandrills mandrills here from the menu over here. You can see there are a lot of other animals in, but since we have already revealed all of them, there's no big surprise. We have some of the African wild dogs, we have the pronghorn, we have the peafowl, as you can see, we have the tiger, and you know, all these kind of animals. I already purchased the tiger here because I knew that I needed it later. And don't worry, I'm not going to put this into this habitat with the mandrills. Yeah, I was basically also forgetting that I could just multi-select the animals and bring them back into the zoo. Not quite sure though why one of these pieces was activated. But yeah, you can see there was already one mandrill just using my climbing rack, but all of a sudden I missed it because of purchasing the other ones. But yeah, overall, I have to admit that I'm super happy. Oh, by the way, while I was just seeing the zookeeper going through, there you can see, by the way, that one of the mandrills is just using my climbing rack and doing the Michael Jackson again. Yeah, this is one of the glitches that they wanted to see, because this is something you need to see to make sure that you can fix it. I mean, who has not seen yet a Michael Jackson floating mandrill in real life, right? They're pretty common. It's the common floating MJ mandrill. It's a subspecies that lives in the areas around the farm of Michael Jackson. Okay, I should just stop. But yeah, you can see there's like a baby mandrill over there as well, or like a small mandrill. It's not even a baby mandrill. But yeah, my mandrills were, I don't know, they were just way too chill. They actually didn't want to climb. So it was a bit of a pity, but for the sake of this video, I just loved. By the way, you might have seen one mandrill just go up the tree and now come back down the tree again. So trees, for example, already work like 100% fine. They just work like a charm. It is insane. But again, they don't fulfill the climbing need. So you can place them down. You have to make sure that they don't you didn't place them or don't place them too close to the walls, so otherwise they will escape. But yeah, you can see now they're already using my climbing frame. This is so cool. You know, just at the beginning of this episode you have seen that I was placing it down, and now they're already interacting with it. So bear in mind, the animals are actively learning, so it's also that it takes some time until they see that there is something new in their habitat. And so if I would have been able to play even longer, they might have used it even more because it's already for a longer time in there and they know that it's fine for them. So yeah, all in all, I enjoyed it quite a bit to see how they behave and what they did, and you know, how they use all the climbing stuff. And I hope you did enjoy as well, and see you in the next one. Bye guys. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you appreciate that. And now a special thanks also to all the people supporting me here on that channel, making this all possible. You can see that on the left hand side right now. And also, if you want to see more of my stuff, make sure to click that card on the right top now. And if you want to stick around, make sure to hit that sub button, which is on the bottom right of the screen. If you want to see stuff on my social media, sneak peeks and stuff like that, it is on the bottom left on the screen. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next episode. Until then, enjoy your time, guys, and bye.